Here are the worst mistakes that you can make that I'm going to teach you, lessons from my experiences over 10 years and $200 million in sales between my own brands and my clients' brands. I'm gonna teach you these today for free, and I want you to sit back and enjoy these lessons because you may not learn these anywhere else. To be able to make tens of millions of dollars takes a lot of things. It is very hard. It's difficult, it takes sacrifice, it takes diligence, it takes failure, it takes recalibrating, it takes normalizing the fact that things aren't always gonna work all the time. And these are the main lessons that I want you to take away on your journey, because they say the wisest of all men learns not from their own mistakes, but from the mistakes of others. So if you're watching this video, I'm here to teach you about my mistakes and how you can avoid them in your businesses to go on to make tens of millions of dollars for yourself. My clients also, I've helped to generate over $200 million for clients on my books. I'm also gonna teach you a few of their mistakes. So if you wanna learn from my mistakes, from their mistakes, and collect the lessons from people that have made this amount of money, I'm here to show you today. And I'm here to show you for free because I think it's gonna help and I want this to improve your life. I have a story. One time we were out for lunch, and this was 5 years into my journey in e-commerce and products. The lunch was at Los Angeles, and I was out with a competitor who had a brand in the protein supplement space at that particular time. So I am a fan of the premise that winners collaborate and losers compete. So if you think about that intuitively, right? Losers would be people making, not losers, but like in this scenario, the lower people making 5 to 10K would be down here talking shit about each other, not learning from each other. They're too arrogant to learn lessons. They don't want to meet each other. That's their mentality, right? This is not the loser's mentality, but this is the low level mentality. The winners, or the high level people who are making 6 figures a month, they're actually out there collaborating. They're learning from each other. So typically what I would do is when I was building my brands, it was about 5-10 years ago, and about 5 years into my business journey, I would actually take my competitors out for lunch. We're friendly with a lot of them. We'd learn from each other, because the thing is, if you're operating in the same space as people, it doesn't have to be the same product or the exact same business, but if you're operating in the same money-making industry as people, primarily online, but through whatever business it may be, say you own the same brand, you actually can learn a lot from each other. So if you learn from your competitors and you take the premise that winners collaborate and losers compete, if you want to be a winner, learn to collaborate with your competition. So we're out for lunch and we're talking about our brands that are making 6 figures a month. The lunch goes well. I was very happy with myself and I gave myself a pat on the back because we're making good money at that time. And I think the brand that I was invested in was making around $100,000 a month in these protein supplements at the time. It had some other consumables, some gummy bears and whatnot, mostly sports nutrition focused products. So it was making around $100,000 a month, which I thought was really cool. And my competitor kind of laughed and smiled, and I went up to pay the bill. And I said, well, what were you guys laughing about? What's so funny? They turned around to me and they said, Liam, were you only making $100,000 a month? I said, yeah. And they said, interesting. And I heard one of them say something about 600, obviously not talking about $600 because the lunch itself was a $600 lunch. So what else could they possibly be talking about? And I said to them, did one of you guys say 600,000 as in you were making 600,000 a month back in that time? And they said, yeah. And I'm like, no, this can't be right. How on earth were you making $600,000 a month in this business? So they turned to me and they said, Liam, what were you doing in your business? So I look back at them and I say, well, in my business, we're running Facebook ads. And there was a collective laughter from all of them, laughing at me in a funny way, in a nice way, but laughing over the fact that here I was, little Liam, patting himself on the back because I'd made a little bit of money in their eyes through Facebook ads. When I asked them what they were doing to make their $600,000 a month, the list that I got was staggering. They were doing affiliate marketing, SEO, Google AdWords, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, AdWords, billboard ads, bus ads, phone calls, emails, mail drop, retargeting. The list of things that they were doing was so large. If I was to read out the entire list here, we'd be here for a very, very, very long period of time. Now, obviously I put my credit card away because I'm gonna let them pay for the bill knowing how much more money they made than me. But The point of the story is, and I want you to really fucking tune in and listen to this. If you want to make ridiculous amount of money, complacency is killer. If you've made your first big amount, even if it's $5,000, $10,000 a month, if you start patting yourself on the back, you're a fucking idiot. Not to be mean, but what I'm saying is the biggest lesson and the biggest mistake I made in my business at that point of my life was complacency. Complacency is the killer of millions of dollars that you should be making. And everyone that I've seen go on cruise control, everyone that I've seen become complacent with what they're making are the ones who constantly go like this. The ones who are constantly on a daily basis criticizing themselves, critiquing themselves, looking at what they're doing, thinking, how can we do it better? Meeting with their competitors, collaborating, learning, knowledge sharing, constantly chasing that next level, constantly trying to stack that next win. Those people are the ones who go like this. So when you get your first business making cash, I need you to think to yourself, am I happy to go on cruise control? Am I happy to make $5,000, $10,000 a month and just cruise? And the answer should be no. Because if you're doing that, guess what? There's gonna be someone else out there just like you in the same business that you're in, doing the same fucking thing that you're doing, who's constantly trying to find ways to do it better. And by the time you've been on cruise control for 6 to 12 months, that other person doing exactly what you're doing has found out 10 other ways to do it better, and they found 10 ways to make 10 times more money than you. So the biggest failure or the biggest mistake I made was becoming complacent. And what I want you to do in this video is to ask yourself, what am I doing and am I becoming complacent in it? And if the answer is yes, I have good news for you. All you need to do is turn around and just change your attitude, simply change your mindset and go from complacency to constantly chasing excellence, to growth hacking, to finding newer, better, faster, sharper, smarter ways to do things so that you can stack more wins and make more money. Because I guarantee you, as I've said, the complacency is the killer. And I'll guarantee you there are people out there just like you who are finding 10 ways to cut your lunch. So please learn from my lessons. This is a free lesson that I'm giving to you. I do hope that it helps your life and your business. Please understand that complacency is a killer. However, if you feel like you're becoming complacent, turn it the fuck around quickly. Daily basis, start focusing on how to level up. And if you're constantly doing that, the incremental wins are gonna get you to where you need to be. So the biggest failure that I ever made in my business was complacency. I hope you can learn from this. If you're doing it, turn it around, cut it out, learn to collaborate with the people who have the knowledge that you need. And this is how you can go from this to go to this. See you in the next video.